Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you all are having a great start to your week. For those of you who have not met me yet or were not part of the webinar a couple weeks ago, my name is Samantha and I am the on-site health coach for MNPS and Cigna. If you have any questions, please write me in the chat. I will take you off mute, but for now you all are on mute. I also apologize for any noises in the background. They're doing construction around my apartment. So we today are going to be talking about meal prepping and planning and how you fuel your body with healthy fuel. So today, to break down our session, we're first going to talk about why a healthy fuel is important, how to balance your plate by building your breakfast, constructing your lunch, designing your dinner, how to eat out, and tips for overall success. Like any long-term proposition, living a healthy lifestyle happens one day and one choice at a time. The good news is that you don't have to sacrifice all the foods you love to be healthier. Even if you're at a healthy weight, you'll soon discover that nourishing your body with healthy and delicious foods truly is living well. Among other benefits, better nutrition gives you more energy, helps regulate your metabolism, strengthens your immune system to fight illness, and reduces your risk of chronic disease. So I'm going to talk about how eating 3 meals a day with healthy fuel, what are the benefits? So first, it optimizes your metabolism. The energy you get from eating a healthy breakfast actually increases the amount of calories you burn throughout the day, whereas missing a meal signals your body to conserve that energy and it slows down your metabolism. So that's why it's best to eat every 2 to 3 hours so it keeps that metabolism going. It also increases your energy. Food provides us with the energy we need to function throughout the day. It also lessens cravings for high-fat and sugary foods. If you eat less during the day, you're likely to be ravenously hungry throughout the afternoon and evening. So eating a satisfying breakfast will help keep your cravings in check and save you from a mid-morning energy slump, making you less likely to reach for high-fat and sugary foods. Next, it enhances your ability to concentrate. Breakfast gives your brain the energy it needs for concentration, for learning and problem solving, and especially for all you to be able to teach throughout the day. It also helps you manage a healthy weight. In addition to lessening cravings, it helps kickstart your metabolism in the morning. Researchers have found that on average, people who eat breakfast are better able to maintain a healthy weight than those who don't eat breakfast. That can be because eating foods with protein and fiber in the morning keeps your appetite in check the rest of the day. Eating a healthy breakfast or healthy meals also stabilizes your blood sugar and insulin levels, which keeps your stamina high for longer periods of time. So eating keeps your blood sugar and insulin at the appropriate levels, making it less likely to spike or cause you to crash when you skip meals. Also, eating breakfast is associated with a decreased risk of heart attacks. Several studies have shown the benefits of eating breakfast every morning, and it may even help lower your risk of heart disease and stroke. Studies indicate that breakfast skippers are more likely to be overweight, have diabetes, heart disease, and/or high cholesterol, use tobacco, not exercise regularly, not get recommended amounts of important nutrients and vitamins, eat more calories and added sugar throughout the entire day. Many other studies have linked eating breakfast to overall good health, including better memory and concentration, lower levels of the bad cholesterol, which is the LDL, and lower chances of getting diabetes, heart disease, and being overweight. So lesson learned, please don't skip breakfast. So now we're going to discuss any kind of barriers to healthy meals. Would anyone like to share barriers that are preventing you from eating a healthy breakfast, lunch, or dinner daily? Okay, so I'm going to discuss a couple that I feel that most of you will relate to. I know I do myself. First is habits. So changing old eating habits and behaviors can be challenging, but with some new ideas in today's presentation, you'll be on your way to creating new habits of planning, preparing, choosing, and eating healthier meals each and every day. Second would be lack of time. A busy, hectic lifestyle and eating on the run can lead to unhealthy food choices or skipping meals altogether. We're going to give you some tips to fit delicious and nutritious meals into most jam-packed schedules. Next would be information overload. With all the information on nutrition available, it can be confusing to decipher what exactly a balanced healthy meal looks like. We're going to cover how to build a healthy breakfast, lunch, and dinner by incorporating all the necessary macronutrients into each meal to give you the nourishment and energy you need to power through your day. And lastly, cost. It's true, junk food is definitely cheaper, but would you rather spend your money at the grocery store or at the doctor's office? Eating healthy doesn't have to break the bank. So after today's discussion, you'll learn how you can eat 3 healthy meals per day on any budget. So balancing your plate. When looking at a healthy plate, make sure to have half of the plate fruits and vegetables. As you can see in the picture, the entire left side of this plate is fruits and vegetables, and actually mostly vegetables. Fill the half of your plate with a variety of foods. Remember, eat the rainbow. When you eat the rainbow, it's a way to incorporate more vegetables and fruits. So try to pick something, a fruit or a vegetable of each color. That will guarantee that you incorporate enough fruits and vegetables. Then a fourth of your plate should be grains, but aim to make half those grains you eat whole grains. Limit refined carbohydrates as much as possible. Choose healthy fats by replacing some meat and poultry with seafood. Limit saturated and trans fats. Remember, we talked about that 2 weeks ago. So your saturated fats are your solid fats, and your trans fats are the fats that actually have no benefit to our diet. Choose lean sources of protein, like chicken, turkey. We will definitely be going over different options of each of these food groups throughout the presentation. So now we're going to build our breakfast. So using this plate as a guide, can anyone give me an example of a breakfast that would cover each of these food groups? So the next slide, we're going to actually talk about how to incorporate each food group, or at least try to incorporate most of them. So it may not be possible to cover every single food group at breakfast, but here are a few examples that can help you cover the majority of food groups. The way this chart works is by reading across each row horizontally. So the first example is to eat a small whole wheat bagel, remember whole, with either peanut butter or reduced fat cheese along with a side of fruit. There you go, you've just covered 3 of the food groups. Another example is eating a whole grain English muffin topped with ½ cup of prepared egg whites or substitute, reduced fat cheese, and veggies. If you do that and add like a side of berries, you've covered everything. Mornings can be busy, I know. So when you are in a hurry, grab a high fiber granola bar, a cup of low fat milk, and fruit like a banana or apple to go. So oatmeal and cereal lovers can still also enjoy their favorites, but consider spicing them up with maybe some chopped fruits, dried fruits, chopped nuts, dried fruit or fresh fruit. Your taste buds might appreciate the variety and your body will love the added nutrients. If anyone would like this chart to have at home, please email me and I can send you this chart. So here are a few more examples of healthy breakfasts you can make at home. As you can see, each example covers all food groups, providing your body with much needed variety to start your day in a healthy way. Foods are color-coded to align with the food groups you see on the plate image. So let's talk about them. The first breakfast option would be scrambled eggs. or you could do, say, an omelet with one slice of whole grain toast, sliced mushrooms and spinach, which you can put any sort of veggies that you prefer, some feta cheese, and a pear. The second is for someone who has more of a sweet tooth. You have your whole grain pancakes with walnuts and a canned pumpkin puree with a side of 1 cup of low-fat milk, and then you can put sliced banana or even any type of fruit on top. 3 would be 1 whole wheat tortilla with shredded chicken, corn, shredded low-fat mozzarella, and avocado. A lot of you might think, why is avocado in there? That is actually considered a fruit. And an avocado is a great source of healthy fat for you, and it will stick with you longer. Number 3 could actually also be used for any sort of lunch or dinner as well. So now that we've filled our plates with breakfast, let's move on to lunch. So using this plate as a guide, let's talk about the lunch ideas that would cover each food group. Salads and sandwiches are a staple for any lunch, but it can be challenging to cover all the food groups. This chart helps to illustrate how you can weave in each food group and create a new recipe to keep your lunch exciting. Now, this table is designed so you can pick one food from each column and mix them together. Unlike the breakfast chart, you don't have to go across horizontally. That allows for you many ways to be creative. Let's look at an example for a salad. For the grain, you could choose a quinoa, place in a bowl, maybe add some beans, brie, spinach, and cranberries, and each food group is accounted for, and your options go on and on. Can anyone share a combination they want to try for a salad or sandwich? So now I'll try. Let's try 100% whole grain bread. We're gonna put some turkey in it. That's definitely the better protein, like deli protein to pick. Then we'll add some Gouda cheese, add some veggies like lettuce, cucumbers, red peppers, tomatoes, and then I'm gonna have a side with apple. There you go, all 5 groups included. This is a great chart because it makes it so that it's easier to meal prep and plan. And once again, if anyone would like this chart, just email me and I can send this to you. So here are 3 more examples of lunches that cover all the food groups. Again, the foods are color-coded in the to align with the food groups you see on the plate image. So the first one, we have 3 ounces of grilled chicken, 1 pita. Try to get a whole wheat pita or whole grain, or bread you can use. Lettuce, a ½ cup of low-fat cottage cheese with light Caesar dressing and apple on the side. Number 2, peanut butter with whole grain bread, sliced cucumbers, 1 cup of low-fat milk, and sliced banana. A way to do say like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich here, instead of banana, you could always have fresh berries and put them in the sandwich with the peanut butter, and that would give you a healthier version and lower sugar version for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. The third would be sliced turkey with a whole wheat tortilla, red pepper strips, sliced low-fat fresh mozzarella, and then a fruit salad on the side. So it's getting late and it's time to talk about dinner. Once again, using this plate as a guide, let's talk about dinner ideas that would cover each food group. So here are 3 examples of dinners that cover all food groups. As you know, the foods are color-coded to align with the food groups you see on the plate image. Covering all food groups at dinner can be hard. Where do you find yourself struggling the most? For some, it might be including fruits with dinner. not something people typically think about. And it's okay if you don't have fruit with your dinner time meal. Maybe the fruit becomes your dessert, or you incorporate fruit as snacks in between meals. The great news is you have a lot of options. So let's look at these three. First, you have 3 ounces of grilled chicken, a 1/3 cup of rice, side of steamed vegetables with a 1/2 cup of cottage cheese, or you could always put cheese on top of your steamed vegetables for your dairy, and then a side of berries. Number 2 would be 3 ounces of salmon. This is a great option. Fish is has a ton of fatty acids that are beneficial for our diet, like the omega-3 and omega-6. Those are a great option instead of using other types of meat. Have a 1/3 cup of wild rice, a side salad, 1 cup of low-fat milk, and then a side of fresh fruit. Your third option is spaghetti noodles with meat sauce, side salad, a 1/4 cup of low-fat mozzarella cheese, and a side of mixed fruit. For this option, if people don't want to have the carbohydrates and get your grains somewhere else, you can always do spaghetti squash instead of the actual noodles. And then you could also incorporate fresh vegetables into your meat sauce, so tomatoes, onions, peppers, whatever you decide. As you can see with all 3 options, you have a side of fruit. These are great for desserts, as we talked about. You could also put a low-fat option like a Cool Whip or whipped cream on top of it, and that would make it more of a dessert. Also, you could try fresh squeezed lemon, add some Splenda or a little bit of sugar, and add some mint into that and mix it all in with your fruit, and it gives it more of a dessert taste. Now we're going to talk about meatless meals. So eating a plant-based meal every now and then can help you lower your cholesterol, improve your heart health, and provide much-needed variety. What does your dinner look like when you take meat off the menu? Well, your meal definitely won't be boring, and there are more options than you would think. For example, craving a burger? Try a savory grilled portobello mushroom burger. So going meatless is as simple as moving vegetables and fruits from a side dish to the starring roll. You should also seek out high-fiber whole grains and beans and unsalted nuts and lower-fat and fat-free dairy foods. So sticking with it can quickly make you start feeling lighter and your wallet fatter. People who eat less meat tend to consume fewer calories, and foods such as beans are one of the most cost-effective sources of protein available. Meat typically costs more per pound than other protein sources. So go veggie at work. If you have access to an office kitchen, or if you're working from home, use your own. Keep a few convenient meatless foods like veggie burgers or vegetarian microwavable meals on hand for a quick meatless lunch. So with this being said, it does not mean you need to cut out all your meat proteins. It is good to have variety, and sometimes try to take that meat out and get sources of protein elsewhere, like beans or nuts. And it's also just great. It saves you money every so often. So frozen entrees. So when you stroll down a grocery frozen food aisle, and the evidence is clear, you have frozen meals are big sellers. They claim more shelf space than virtually any other type of frozen food. Beyond the old standard TV dinners, you'll find many ethnic meals, vegetarian meals, low calorie, supersized, natural, and organic meals. There are 2 levels of frozen meals. First, a light frozen meal, which is less than 300 calories and no more than 8 grams of fat. And then there's the regular frozen dinner, which is 360 to 400 calories plus, and a maximum of 25 grams of fat. As a general rule, look for entrees that include plenty of vegetables. These tend to be lower in calories and higher in vitamins and minerals, as well as fiber. And remember, fiber is what fills you up. It is good for weight loss, and it helps regulate your blood sugars. Try to opt for brown rice or whole grains whenever possible, and choose lean meats like fish or chicken. Some frozen dinners are loaded with fat, sodium, and calories, so try to stick with lighter versions such as Lean Cuisine, Healthy Choice, and Smart Ones. Those are usually your safest bet, but there are no guarantees. You still need to read the label to be certain. If you're watching sodium, be especially careful about frozen meals. So my advice for everyone is to look for a meal with less than 800 milligrams of sodium. That is actually about 1/3 of a day's recommended allotment. If you're on a low sodium diet, divide the total number of sodium milligrams recommended per day by 3. Then use that number as a guide when selecting frozen meals. So, by the numbers, here are my guidelines for choosing a healthy frozen meal. First, aim for those that keep calories in the 250 to 300 calorie range. Second, choose meals with less than 4 grams of saturated fat. 3, choose meals with less than 800 milligrams of sodium. And 4, try 3 to 5 grams of fiber. The more fiber, the better. Now, why drink your calories? Water is always a great calorie-free option. However, feel free to enjoy a flavorful drink every now and then. Knowing the calorie counts of several popular beverages will help you choose wisely. So as you can see on the screen, we have 2 categories, non-alcoholic beverages and then alcoholic. As you can see, we've broken down very popular drinks to calories. So a 12-ounce soda is 100 to 200 calories. And then a 12-ounce strawberry lemonade is 250 calories. Then you have your alcohol. So a 12-ounce beer is 95 to 190 calories. A fruity drink or margarita is 350 to 600 calories. That's actually pretty much a meal. Then you have 5 ounces of red wine, which is 100 calories, and 5 ounces of white wine is 96 calories. Just be aware of what you're taking into your body. So if you are having a beverage that every so often, make sure you are eating the right things to even it out. It's all about moderation when you're trying to maintain or lose weight. So dessert. Don't let all your efforts to eat healthier go to waste. Make sure there's always something on hand to curb your after-dinner sweet tooth. So here are some great options for your sweet tooth. If you like ice cream, try frozen fruit yogurt, sherbet. You can also try frozen fruit pops. Try looking at the grocery store for soy-based ice cream sandwiches, or you can try coconut milk-based. Those are going to be a lot lower calories. Also, for the frozen fruit pops, look for the Greek yogurt-based. Those will fill you up more, and they're going to be lower calories and more beneficial. Angel food cake with fresh strawberries is always a very delicious dessert, and it's very pretty. For those of you who have trouble with portions, try 100-calorie snack packs. And you can use that for just a regular snack throughout the day, like if you have a salt or savory craving. And then your sweeter can be look for cookies, 100-calorie pack. Then we have the berries with light whipped cream or yogurt, like I talked about. A small piece of dark chocolate or cacao nibs based is a great option. And then low-fat ice cream. So when eating out, here are some practical strategies. So look at portions, eat a normal serving, and take the rest home. Don't wait until your plate is clean to stop eating. Instead, listen to your body. Avoid all-you-can-eat buffets to avoid feeling like you have to eat enough to make the price worthwhile. Try to split your meal with another person. Sometimes restaurants may charge for a split fee, but it's still less than purchasing another entree. Or even when you order one plate, ask for a side plate and split it yourself. Please pack your food in a take-home container before you eat. So when you sit down at the At the table, ask the waiter or waitress for that take-home container before you even get your food. Opt for dessert only if you're still physically hungry. Don't fill up before your meal arrives. Try to limit the amount of bread or chips you eat if baskets are brought to the table. Or if you're like me and can't control it, tell them not to even actually bring them. Or if someone you're with wants bread or chips, ask for a side salad to hold you over while they eat the bread. Try to eat a broth-based hot soup before the meal. And broth is the key word. Try to drink broth rather than a cream-based soup. Order salads with dressings on the side. That way you can control how much you use. Try to watch your pace. It takes 15 to 20 minutes to feel fully satisfied, so slow it down. Have a nutrient-dense snack between breakfast and lunch. That will pretty much carry you over so that you're not as hungry when you go out to eat for, say, dinner. To prevent nibbling on leftovers, ask the server to remove dishes from the table as soon as you're done. So now we're going to talk about how to control what you eat when you're eating out. So for fast food, try to order a sliced meat sandwich or a smaller hamburger on the menu. Substitute a side salad for fries. You'll save 300 calories plus and at least 15 grams of fat. Italian. Try to avoid creamy Alfredo sauces and cheese-filled entrees such as lasagna, ravioli, and stuffed shells. Order foods prepared with red sauce instead, like marinara, or even try pesto or a wine sauce. Then we have Chinese. Try to use chopsticks. That will slow you down. I know for me, I can never use them, so it really controls my taste. Avoid sweet and sour and fried dishes. So instead, order like a broccoli and beef or chicken dish or chicken with snow peas. In addition, if you are trying to control your sodium, if you're on a low sodium diet, really be aware of how much soy sauce you use when you go to these Chinese restaurants or any kind of restaurants that you use soy at. Now with pizza, try to order a thin crust pizza with tomato sauce and any fresh veggies. Also try to select a lean meat topping. So with that is a great option. When you do thin crust, that's going to be your crust will be your grain. Your tomato sauce and any fresh veggies, that's your vegetable. Lean meat would be your protein. You add cheese on top of it. That's your dairy. And then you can also order, or when you get home, have a fruit. And then you've covered all your groups. Order a small or side salad to have with a slice of pizza. That will control how much you eat instead of ordering a full pie. Also, try to look for like gluten-free options, like a cauliflower crust. Nowadays, there are a lot of gluten-free options, so make sure you look over the menu. Now, at a deli, try to do lean sliced meat on whole grain bread and use mustard or hummus instead of mayo. Try to pair a half sandwich with a soup or salad. And then avoid fatty cured meats. Hold on, sorry. Okay, sorry about that. So back to deli, we're going to try to avoid fatty cured meats and mayo-based salads like tuna, chicken, or egg salads. I'm not saying that you don't have to eat these ever, but try to eat those salads more at home because then you can control how much mayo you put in them. Then we have Mexican. Try grilled, not breaded fish tacos. Flavor with salsas like pico de gallo or guacamole, and place the sour cream and cheese. A lot of times using those salsas or guac, those can actually be more flavorful than the sour creams and cheeses. Skip the refried beans and try black beans instead. So before you order, find out how the food is prepared. Foods that are broiled, poached, grilled, baked, or steamed tend to be lower in fat than foods that are refried or fried. Limit foods that are breaded or that come with creamy sauce or gravy. So try to ask to have butter, sour cream, gravy, and sauces like that served on the side. This will allow you to control how much you use. Choose reduced fat salad dressings or choose oil and vinegar salad dressings instead of creamy dressings. Or if you are going to do those creamy dressings, like I said, try the low fat, fat-free, or reduced fat, like light ranch or light Caesar. Order hamburgers and sandwiches without the high-fat extras such as cheese and bacon. And you can also use maybe a lettuce wrap instead of an actual bread bun. Choose leaner deli meats such as turkey or roast beef rather than salami or bologna. If you want dessert, try to look for low-fat frozen yogurt, sorbets, fruit ice, or sherbet. Portions play a huge role in determining how many calories a person consumes. Portions have been increasing along with our waistlines. So take a look at the two examples above. The sandwich on the left has only 320 calories versus the one on the right is actually 820. This is an increase of 500 calories in the last 20 years. The other example is the soda. So the increase in size has left a total difference of 165. This is also something to be aware of when you're prepping at home, because when you do prep, you control your portion sizes. So make sure you're looking at your labels to know what a serving size is. So healthy meals and eating can be easy if you follow these steps. Planning your meals takes a little bit of time, but saves you a lot of time in the long run. It's a three-step process. At the beginning of the week or weekend, plan out each meal. Spend some time looking through your cabinets to determine what you will need to get from the grocery store. Create that list before you go shopping. When you arrive home, begin preparing some meals in advance. Making food in bulk and freezing what you don't want to use right away will save you a lot of time for future meals. This is also a great time to separate your food into healthy portion sizes. To help with only having healthy foods in the house, read the labels at the grocery store to prevent from buying something that isn't healthy. Crock pots are also a great time saver, an easy way to cook in bulk. In the morning before work, place the food in the crock pot and turn on low. By the time you get home, you will have a fully cooked meal. So here are some additional resources I think that you will find helpful. www.heart.org is great. So is www.choosemyplate.gov. This website is where you can find the actual plate we've been using this entire presentation to help with portion sizes. It also is a great resource to help pick a plan that is focused on more of the individual. It looks at gender, body weight, etc. And then, as always, Cigna.com under health and wellness is a great resource to help with weight management and many other topics. So in summary, in order to be successful with healthy eating and weight loss, planning is crucial. Set aside time each week for grocery shopping and food prep. No need to cook every day. Just make extra time you do cook and freeze or put in containers. That way it's easy to grab on the way to work or on the go. Bag up snacks into proper portions so that they are easy to grab on the way out the door or just to keep yourself honest and accountable. Consider making portions of fruit and veggies on a Sunday night for each day of work. Measuring food is also very important. It's easy to fool ourselves about the amount of food you're eating. Like for chips per se, that looks like a serving. It's only 120 calories. But in actuality, if you don't measure it with a food scale, measuring cup, or counting, you could actually eat 2 to 3 times what that serving size is. Now, if you have any questions about this presentation or the last presentation or health coaching, please email me at samantha.simpson@cigna.com, or you can give me a call at 703-718-1576. I hope you enjoyed this presentation and it will help you plan out your week better and feel better about yourself. Also, health coaching is a great benefit. There's no additional cost. You can get incentives, and it can help you be a better you. Also, with health coaching in terms of weight management, we can pick a plan that works individually for yourself. I can help share recipes that might work with you. And weight management is not the only thing we can discuss. There's a plethora of topics that you and I can work together. So if you're interested, please reach out. I look forward to meeting you all, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.